Hello, viewers. Kubiyando, Kithin, I'm SB, and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Whew, it's a lot of words. Where today, we're just trying to get along with the neighbors. You know, I'm doing my best to manage all of these relationships, to juggle all of these teenage expectations, while I'm sitting here going through puberty again myself, and let me tell you, it's a lot to deal with. Okay, this is what I was hoping. I wanted to talk to Dis. I'm curious, what happens when you get to 100 with somebody? Like, does it actually spawn a scene? And it looks like maybe. You head out of the colony hoping to find Dis, and you do, as well as Rhett and Utopia, who've teamed up to talk to Dis about something that has him scowling deeply. It was different before the attacks, you hear Utopia say. But you're older now, and when you're on expedition, you can get into a lot more danger than when you were just a little kid going on walkabout. When you're out there on my team, I'm counting on you to do as you're told and to be where you said you'd be. She gestures beseechingly. Well, what am I going to do if something happens to you out there, kid? What if you disappear one day, you're hurt, and no one knows where to find you? What if... I'll be fine, Dis cuts her off. I can take care of myself, and if I can't, that's on me. That's not how it works here, Rhett says, his voice stern. You're not just putting yourself in danger out there, you're putting the whole colony in danger. I know you're a bit of a loner, son, but you have a family here. All of us. We're all your family. We're gonna send people out to find you, and what if they get into the same trouble you did, he continues. We're counting on you to follow directions out there, to keep everyone safe, not just yourself. Well, what if I don't want to be found? Dis explodes, waving his arms. What if I want to be left the hell alone? Rhett and Utopia are stunned by Dis's outburst. Rhett opens his mouth to respond, but Dis talks over him. If I don't come back, just leave me out there, he spits. If this planet wants me dead, maybe I deserve it, huh? Don't you ever think about that? Maybe I deserve to die out there. Maybe we all do. And with that, Dis stomps away. Rhett and Utopia look stunned. Yeah, I can fully believe that they were not prepared to confront that line of reasoning. You follow Dis around the outer walls of the colony to where he's angrily pulling things out of the drainpipe hiding hole that he's long since outgrown. Stupid humans, he grumbles, stuffing what looks like a bedroll into a carrying bag. They never think of anything except... Oh, he continues, trailing off when he sees you. What do you want? Are you okay? I'm great, Dis mutters. Just awesome, actually. Yeah, thanks for asking. You watch him pull things from his hideaway and throw them into two piles. Screw this colony, he says. I didn't ask to be a part of it. I don't need it. I don't need anyone. I'd be better off living in the woods like an animal. At least that's real. He reaches in far and pulls out a busted-up-looking mechanical device. His old alien communicator he made using gear he stole from Command. Oh yeah, I remember that. Jeez, he laughs. Guess I don't need this anymore. I mean, I know what he means. I don't want to flirt with Dis, but I do want to go out with him. Like, I want to... Whatever he's doing... He could use some backup, right? Like, I hate that there's no option here that's, okay, let me come with you, that isn't, like, explicitly romantic. Especially because just, like, I understand, go do what you need to do. It feels so uncaring. I guess I'm going to go Please Don't Go. Please Don't Go is the only one of these that is like, I care about you as a person, but not, so let's bang. Please, don't go. Why? Dis says bluntly. There's nothing for me here, Samhain. My mom is dead. I never had a father. My own twin sister hates me and thinks I'm an idiot. Well, okay, she hates everyone and thinks everyone is an idiot. I don't have any friends except you. No one cares about me and what I want. Everyone here will be better off without me, and honestly, I'll be better off without them. Yeah, he sure is a teenager. Dis finishes packing up the stuff he's going to keep, which barely amounts to a full backpack. He straps it onto his back and nods at you, determined. Did I ever tell you my full name? He asks, seemingly randomly. No, you didn't. Dis smiles a little at that, just with the corners of his mouth, as he huffs a self-deprecating laugh. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have. It sucks, honestly. It's dysthymia. Your parents named you dysthymia? Really? That feels... I'm not saying they didn't do it. It just feels like a shitty thing to do is all. What does it mean? Because we don't have the reasoning necessary. We're actually pretty close, but... Dis takes a breath and lets it all out, his shoulders slumping. It means being sad. What a joke, right? Who names their kid that? He shakes his head. Aunt Anne always talks about how babies make everyone happier. Was my mom sad before she had me and Tang? Or did having us make her sad? His smile twists. Was it me? Was I the reason... Oh. We didn't know what happened to Dis and Tanja's parents until, like, just this moment, right? I'm pretty sure. That's grim. I can see how you would have some issues growing up, especially... There's no way. She couldn't have named him dysthymia, right? The cruelty of that is so... Dis scuffs his boot in the dirt. Whatever, he mumbles. No one's cared about me basically ever, since before I was born. My own mom didn't love me. The, like, one person who you think could... He looks up at the sky and blinks rapidly. Whatever, he repeats. I'm out of here. Thanks for everything, Samhain. You're the only good thing about this shithole. I'm gonna miss you. I'm hugging him. He is getting hugged, and I do not care how he feels about it. You throw your arms around Dis, who grunts and pats your back awkwardly. He doesn't relax until you finally relent and let him go. You watch him disappear between the fungal trees. Within minutes, he's out of sight. You're getting ready for bed later that day when you receive a colony-wide announcement through your holopalm. It reads as follows. Colony notice. Reminder that there are to be no unauthorized trips outside the walls without prior authorization from Expeditions Command. Anyone caught in violation of this rule will be punished. This includes going for a walk. It is dangerous outside the walls and is only to be done by trained and armed personnel. Thank you, Command. How about that? You send Dis a message. 8 question marks. Dis messages you back immediately with just a picture of a knife. You're guessing he didn't get very far. Okay, I was about to say, that would be a really interesting narrative structure if he leaves the village as soon as you hit 100 friendship with him. Was mid-dust somebody's birthday? Maybe Mars? I gave Nars a thing already. And I don't know when her birthday is, apparently. Okay. Cal had something to say to us. Was Mid-Dust Nem's birthday, maybe? You had plans to hang out with Cal today, but when you arrive at the Geoponics Dome, it's worryingly dark inside. You fumble around in the red emergency lighting until all the lights come back on with the heavy ka-chunk of a breaker being flipped. You blink into the sudden blinding light until the figures of Cal and Chief Engineer Instance resolve themselves in your vision. Absolutely no more of that, young man, Instance scolds Cal as he cradles his hoverboard in his arms. The power grid is not your plaything. I understand, Auntie, Cal says. I'm sorry. Instance mutters to herself as she passes you. Honestly, all of this over a toy. Hey, dudette, Cal greets you. Sorry, I meant to meet you outside after work, but... He looks down at his hoverboard. My board wouldn't start, and I figured it was maybe out of juice, but when I plugged it in, it threw off all these sparks, and then the whole power grid shut down. Cal's shoulders slump. I was gonna ask Dr. Instance to take a look at it, but she told me she doesn't have time to fix a dumb toy, and I don't have the engineering skill. I'm sorry, Cal, that sucks. Yeah, it's just... Cal rubs his eyes. We've only got a few things left from when we were kids, you know? Everything else is broken or gone or... Dad... It's always kind of sad when a piece of old technology needs to be retired, but Cal seems to take this one harder than most. He hugs the hoverboard to his chest and excuses himself, not waiting to hear your goodbye. Whew. Everybody's having a rough go of it this season. You've barely seen your mom since the heliopause arrived. When you do, she looks frail. Like all of her strength got used up last year, and she's only just starting to recover. Except instead of relaxing, she's hard at work rebuilding the geoponics domes. It must be hard for her to shake the fear that it might happen again. Being able to load your tray full of food at the canteen is still a luxury you don't take for granted. Sometimes you make up a tiffin for your mom so she doesn't miss lunch. Hey, Samhain, she says, smiling as you approach. Is that lunch? I've been smelling the caramelized onions all morning. I can't wait. You deliver the tiffin into her grateful hands, and she cracks the lid and takes a big inhale. You know, people used to give thanks before meals back on Earth. I think I can understand why. I think these all seem like fine things to say. Well, listen, I'm just thankful you're here, Mom. Subtext, please don't work yourself to death. She reaches over and ruffles your hair. You're a good kid, Samhain, she says. She looks at you a second, weighing whether to continue. I know we don't talk about it, but I know how hard you busted your butt back then, making sure the colony didn't starve. Her smile twists in dark humor. I didn't think you'd ever come around to corny bullcrap like doing what's best for the colony, she mutters like it's a secret. But you really came through. I have consistently done what is best for the colony. Thank you very much. I just also talk back a little bit. And when you're fighting for your life, that's when you know the true measure of a person, she continues solemnly. I wish you didn't have to be tested at such a young age, but you really showed what you were made of. I'm so proud of you, my daughter. That's a good-ass card. It turns out that a mother's love is a very powerful card game tool. Okay, so we've mostly given people gifts, right? I'm gonna hug him. I want to see what this does. I'm trying not to be too, off-put about his whole situation. It's just, it is very weird, but also, my whole situation's pretty weird. Everybody's weird. It's fine. Hugs incoming. Get hugged. Rex throws his arms wide. Coach, I'm open, he laughs, catching you as you throw yourself into his arms. He spins you around and growls into your neck, squeezing you tightly. It's a good hug, the kind that makes you instantly just a little more relaxed. Although not mechanically, you do not get a stress reduction from it. Because they could have, right? They totally could have given me the reduction. Well. Okay, I did give Nem a gift already. And Nem's birthday was early dust. Okay. I don't know. I don't know who I was thinking of. I could have sworn somebody's birthday was mid-dust. Anyway, we have some stuff to do. I think let's go back out again, right? We still have a couple of areas to go to. Let's just do nearby. We're not going to get any meaningful stat points from this, but my guess is that we're supposed to encounter Sim once for a meaningful conversation in each area, because there are 5 areas, right? So if they each give 20 friendship, which means we also need to go forage in the valley. You know what? Maybe let's do forage in the valley next, because we are pretty close to capping biology. Yeah, okay. We'll forage in the... Did we do the plains already? No, we did the valley already. It's the plains and nearby, where we still have all of the events left up. All of the things. Wait, new boss event spawned. Also, I missed a collectible somewhere. What's the boss event, you reckon? I hate to waste a month, but let's maybe go see if we can see what that is. I want to know about a boss event. Also, maybe we can find whatever the missing collectible is. I'm hoping that it's a yellow, you know, that it's something that's like very visually obvious. Hey, y'all. They just took a different route. And if we do want to just start like pulling random events here, maybe we'll at least get some engineering points. All right, Sam, do you have anything new? Nope. Well, this is a new interaction though, I think. As you approach, Sim holds a finger to his lips and bids you approach quietly. Look, through here, he whispers. Through a break in the trees, a small colt-like Unisor is taking its first halting steps in a small clearing. Its mother stands nearby, her sides heaving and gleaming with sweat. Just a few minutes old and already walking, Sim admires. Incredible, isn't it? Still not seeing any evidence of a missed collectible or boss event. I mean, the boss event, it makes sense it would be like at the end of the area. The collectible, you would think it would be just kind of somewhere. It would be less likely that it would be at the end of the area because I feel like we were more thorough with the end of the area. Yep, okay. Pretty sure. Okay, yeah, that is something. I mean, should we just hit it directly or should I... We should probably hit other events looking for opportunities to gain engineering, right? Because our engineering is really bad. So yeah, let's just do random events. We'll come back and hit that yellow event at the end when we're close to running out of juice here. The path ahead is blocked by a field of snaking vines and brambles. They're flowering, enormous happy blossoms, swaying in the shimmering heat waves. You could push through them, but your holopalm beeps a warning, a radiation warning. The flowers seem to be highly radioactive, far too radioactive for the mild shielding your suit provides. You might be able to pass through if you don't mind feeling the effects of radiation sickness until you can detox at a medbed. Well, if it doesn't kill you outright. Radiation is unpredictable. Let's just take the sample. Yeah, because the result we pulled in geoponics was like, if you get more samples, you'll be able to do this, right? And then we don't push through, because that seems very dangerous. You're treated to a spectacular sight. An enormously long caterpillar dragon kind of creature way off in the distance. We saw this already, right? We figured out what it ate? Or wait, no, that was in the other place, and it was one of the Vriki life cycles, I think. Well, this thing has thousands of legs, a kilometer of shimmering body, snaking in and out of the haze at the bottom of this chasm. You just watch it. It's terrifying. It's like it's a train. I feel like we should take some readings, right? This is my job. Alright, animals is not super helpful. It's so far away, but you record its movement coordinates and take a video for Utopia. If we had just stood and marveled at it, I bet it would have been like a de-stressor or something. Ah, the collectible. You're walking along a ridgeline when your foot knocks some rocks down the slope. You anticipate the familiar clatter as they plunge down into the chasm, but realize it's silent. Just the wind. You peer down the slope. Nothing's falling. Wait, the rocks you dislodged with your foot are just floating. You take a step forward and realize you feel lighter too, like you've taken off your mountaineering gear. You take another step forward. It's a struggle to keep your foot on the ground. With one more step forward, you realize it's possible to take both feet off the ground. You're floating. You nudge your foot and let the momentum float you forward a few feet, feeling more untethered by gravity the farther forward you go. The ridgeline is narrow, with a steep drop on either side. There's no way around the strange anti-gravity field, and if you fall out of it, you might plummet into the chasm, definitely a real concern. However, bravery challenge. Okay, so that's going to make a card in it yellow. That's a shame, because that's not good. We can make this a 5. And then... I mean, that's not going to help. If only I had a 5 with a gem on it. This is pretty weak. This is some weak shit. Actually, well, no, this might work as a 5, but you know, obviously, color's gonna break. Do I want to would I rather just play my 8 here? Oh, I need a card with a gem though, right, to make things work even a little bit. Whatever, we'll do this. It's kind of a weird start, but okay, this is interesting. It sucks that this is going to prevent me from getting the red flush. If I put this here, okay, it makes it just yellow. Put the 8 up so that it'll pair with the... I mean, that's pretty not great, honestly. There's not really a way to make this good. Just use it to unload the 0? I don't know, honestly. I think it's probably good enough, but it's certainly not good. All right. Well, we can run a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. We could modify it a little bit and run a straight that goes up to 6 instead. It is a shame that like the colors on this are terrible. Yeah. All right. If we... The idea would be you would go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need to boost something. We need to boost this 2 by 3 points, which is certainly doable. This wouldn't work, right? Yeah, because it's the underlying slot turning it yellow. I mean, whatever. I'll just take that. It's fine. A bravery. Okay, cool. You float forward, allowing yourself to rise higher and higher until you're able to swim and tumble through the air with ease. Ooh, wow, you're really weightless. You're totally weightless. You float over a shiny, lumpy rock jutting up from the spine of the ridge. As you pass over it, you feel gravity gently begin to embrace you again, pulling you back down. Your feet touch the ground again on the other side, and your legs immediately give out. What a rush. You mark the location on your map for the other surveyors. Okay, de-stressor was pretty cool. I'm looking at the time we have left. I'm trying to think, like, if we did a rest for late dust, we could do go out to nearby, go out to the other one, and then like rest in dusk or something. We definitely still need to also um, do a geoponics, right? So that we can attempt to figure out the sample thing. So basically, my point is, I don't know if we do want to ride all the way to full stress here. There is a strange heat haze shimmer across the path ahead. Oddly, it doesn't clear up as you get closer. The mirage effect is very strong. The refracted air makes it look like there's a pool of water on the ground and plants waving around it. But something is just off about the illusion. You can't put your finger on why until you investigate it a bit, obviously. Okay, okay, so that does override. I mean, I don't think we need to necessarily get too fancy with this. We can probably just take, right, the very simple raining bounce weasels hand. There's some pretty good weasels. Card becomes 3 is a real shame here. So if I do this, it'll set the cards around it to 3, which is a little bit less bad, but still pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's just nothing to be done for it. It makes this a super hard hand to play. We'll just go ahead and let one of our 6s be kind of bad here. It's still not terrible overall. We just have to make 33 in the final hand. So it's like... this can be 3, that's fine. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that feels right. Was that not the best way to do that? Okay, well, whatever. The faster you move, the faster the mirage disperses. You approach cautiously. As you do, you realize what is wrong about the mirage. It's impossible. The plants on the other side of the haze are different. Not just wibbly wobbly from the layers of air, but bigger, older. And it's a different time of day. Evening, not morning. Then you see her. It's you. Through the heat haze, you see yourself in the distance walking toward you. You move to the edge of the mirage and peek around it, but she isn't there. You can only see her through the heat haze, like it's some kind of doorway or mirror. Well, I mean, I'm going to watch, right? You just stare at the figure, that person who looks and moves exactly like you. Then you both slowly, carefully approach the mirage, and like mirror images, you both raise one arm, your right, her left, and touch them together. Then the other you says something, but you can't hear. You can only see their lips move. Is it important? A message from the other you? You're desperate to know, but the mirage fades. Well, that's pretty fucking weird. That's a pretty weird thing to have happened. I think what we can probably do actually is ride this pretty close to the line, and then we can go back and do nearby next, because we know we can rely on that Unisor event to give us back some stress. You're getting thirsty. You feel for your backup canteen, but it's missing. Somehow you lost it since you left this morning, and you're all out of drinking water. The suns are high and hot in the sky, making the ground waver with heat haze mirages. Your mouth feels dry, so dry, and your head is starting to ache. You're pretty far from the outpost. You could make it back, but that'd be it for this expedition. You'd have to go home. Well, I'm gonna look. Okay, 1 card turns red is a lot better for our deck than previous things. So... are we doing... it's a little awkward that, like... I could just do this. Use take the 2 6s and the red flush to start. This is not a very good time for the Shimmer Cure. I'll say that. So what? 3, 4, 5. We can do a 3, 4, 5, 6. This won't change, so it pairs well with that. Then we just take the straight. 31 off of our 60. I think that's fine. And then this is pretty great here. Do we want to run... This would become a 5. It's not actually super useful. Oh, right. Because we made it red, it gains a point. So actually, we don't have the cleanest... I mean, we can do this. This thing will read as whatever it needs to read as for the straight to function. But we can't really, like... I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's anything very good here. Maybe it's just... trying to figure out, like, is there a way we could make use of this so we can build a straight that matters at all while still... So if I put the Shimmer Cure here, it becomes red. It gives us 3 blues. If I put it here, it also just gives us 3 blues. There's no way to really make the flush work. But... Well, this will become a 4 if it's blue, though. I mean, it's still a straight. We can extend it a little bit like this. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I could have put the yellow card, the wild, at the end. I mean, whatever, it's fine. Well, there's no natural water around, but in your search, you turn up your lost canteen. Wow, that was lucky. We're actually losing stress on these events because we are not taking the full stress out value anymore. Let's do one more. Utopia has sent you and Dis to study one of the large crystal outcroppings. Up close, you can't help but get the sense that they're alive somehow. They're angular and hard to the touch, but they have a sort of sponginess and warmth to them that's a little disconcerting. They emit a humming noise. Dis pokes one with his finger. Weird. It almost looks like they're breathing. Well, let's see if they are, shall we? Actually, almost make a straight here. We're so close. We have the 6 and the 7. I don't know. It doesn't matter too much. Let's just take the red flush here. The 6 might be able to be worked into a straight somewhere, but just like the high value red flush, I think is a fine start. Okay. You know how we feel about them 6s and 4s. Although... this card's going to ruin everything by making one of my 6s an 8. It's fine. We could Mushwood log them all. But, like, our goal is already basically finished, so why bother? 3... And we don't have a 4, right? Unless we don't want to play our 5. I don't. It's not really worth, like, thinking through it all that hard, I think. I'll skip the tiny bit of extra kudos. We certainly don't even need the ones we have. You notice that they hum the loudest at midday under full sun. The few crystals that have grown under shaded outcroppings are less vibrant than the others. They kind of look like convergent domain tech, don't they? Dis says. Like the organic obsidian or the crystals embedded in the ruins. Yeah, let's try blocking the crystal's sun. On a hunch, you cover one up with some ferns. After an hour, it stops vibrating. Something deep inside it has gone dormant. The crystal turns clear, like the ones that were shadowed naturally. When you remove the fronds, its color returns. Oh, so it's like photosynthesis, Dis exclaims. But it's not a plant, right? I don't know. It absolutely could be a plant. I'm going to try uprooting it. Let's see if it has roots. They do indeed have roots, and they're really tough. You dig around the base of one and expose them so you can see. They're made of the same glass, but rough and frosted, and warm, much warmer than the surrounding soil. The roots go down deeper than you can dig. You won't be able to remove one without breaking it. Well, I mean, that feels like just killing a living thing just to watch it die, right? Like, I don't know that there's a lot to learn from doing that. I'm going to just leave it alone at this point. You take some more readings and measure the distance between crystal clusters and the number in each cluster. Hopefully all these numbers will be useful to Utopia. Yeah, one hopes. So now we can count on the yellow event to push us up to 83. And then, yeah, I think that's fine. Let's go and do that yellow event. Hey Sim, how you doing? Gosh, it sure was a long run back here, wasn't it? I wish there was like fast travel just inside of the expeditions is all I need. And honestly, probably just inside of this one. All right, Thumper, what's up? Utopia has given you clearance to poke around the ruins in the secret valley. Stars, this place is neat. Dis thinks so too. Well, at least we didn't have to climb back down again, he mutters, but you can tell he's excited. The buildings are arranged in a spiral formation around a central point. They're made of that oil-slick obsidian, something that looks like petrified bone, and have parts missing where some other organic material has long since rotted away. It's all overgrown with vines and buried in shifting sands. You follow the spokes of the streets until you approach the center of the valley, where a large pyramid-shaped building sits surrounded by thumpers and a variety of other smaller buildings. Well, I'm hoping we'll have time to do all of these things. If we don't get to do all of them, what matters most? I guess the thumpers? The 4 thumpers are in careful alignment, forming a square with wide paths between them, and the pyramid in the center. One is almost totally reduced to rubble. None are still active. Okay, I think we're going to get to look at everything. You walk all around the massive pyramid, but you don't see any entrance into it. It's sealed tight, at least above ground. It vibrates with significance and looms hugely in your dream memories. You feel faint just being close to it, but Dis doesn't seem to feel anything. When he insists you give up and investigate something else, you don't complain. What about these other buildings? Smaller, more deteriorated pyramid buildings dot around the valley, purposes unknown. There are also dozens of little obelisks, a couple meters wide with a circular design on one side. You approach a random one of these on the edge of the valley. You lean on one of the round designs and the iris dilates open, sections grinding back like the world's rustiest automated door. Now you're looking through a large round door into a small featureless room. Quite small, quite featureless, totally dark, very creepy. But you can hear a faint hum. It's still powered. Well, let's bravely walk inside. Okay, 106 is a hard challenge. That's fair. So this is going to end up being a 5. So I mean, we can play 3, 4, 5. No, we can't. This is going to become a 4. All right, do we want to just do... Here, we'll do it like this. That's a pretty solid open, I think. I'm really glad we have the Sun Medallion here. So we can force the existence of a 3, although we also don't have to. Get ourselves a decent straight there with a couple of pairs, but like that still leaves almost 60 points that have to be knocked out in the last hand. I mean, we're going to have to juice it with items for sure. Yeah, all right, let's see what we can do. So we could get that radioactive fruit to a 10. Right, and then this is a 5. That's only 37. That's actually worse. Is there a way to... I mean, we could build A straight, right? We could fiddle with the card values enough. We could drop a mushwood log on this, and we have a 2, 3, 4 at least. It would be a shame to have to make this fit in. We only have 1 bobber fruit. I'm thinking maybe we just crystal cluster the hand. I don't think it was very good. Is this better? Maybe? It does have all these 5s in it, which is nice. And then this is just a 3 at this point. Which gets us to the same value we were at before. We can mushwood log this up to a 5. That's not really going to get us very close, though. We don't have the ability to turn anything red. We can turn stuff yellow all day. We have the ability to just buy 12 points. But 12 points isn't even going to get us there. So we still have to find, in theory, we could, do these until we have 8 more points, and then this until we have another 12, and that gets us from 37 to 50 to 57. But I don't think it's... I'm going to crystal cluster one more time. Okay, this might not be a bad time for a Shimmer Cure, actually. That gets us to 42. Still have to make 15 points happen, though. And I guess we can. What am I at right now? I'm at... So if we played the plus 10 stress card, it would be 84. We would go to 93 off of the stress from the challenge itself. So we could play the 8. Make this like 7, 6, 5, 4. So put down 4 logs across these. Oh, except you definitely want to keep the shimmer cure on. So it's like this becomes... Yeah, this becomes the second card. Hot by Fax is blue anyway, so it can go left of the shimmer cure. It's 1 log to make this 5, 2 to make this... Or 1 to make this 4, 2 to make this 5, 1 to make this 6, 1 to make this 7, and then the 8. That's 15 more points just on card value. And it costs most of our logs. But I mean, like, this is what they're for, right? Alright, so let's pull this. We end up doing this thing. Log, pair of logs, and log. There it is. We keep 1 and we manage to hold on to most of our other stuff. And it's stressful, but it does get us where we're going. And we get 1 entire point of bravery from it. Also, I guess, like, a fair amount of kudos. It's a shame that's worthless. You walk in, Dis close behind, and suddenly the iris closes, the floor lurches, and you're moving down. An elevator. The elevator squeals and grinds away like it hasn't been used in literally thousands of years. It doesn't go far, then grinds to a halt, and the iris opens to reveal a large room with obsidian walls. Like all convergent domain spaces, it's more cave than room, with stalactites everywhere and giant lumpy mounds of fungus. You wonder if the obsidian stuff they built with melts over time, running and dripping in extreme slow motion. There are consoles on all the walls, like this is some kind of control room maybe. Most of it is long, dark, and covered with a thick layer of dust, except one device with 2 weird, bony, knobby sticks poking out of it. It's an arcade machine. Well, I'm going to touch stuff at random, obviously. You poke at things and grab sticks at random until suddenly you cease to be yourself. You're like a visual, audio, and weirdly tactile representation of something vast. You have a feeling of being in a large and complex space. No, like you are the space. A digital space, like a computer system. As if you were sucked inside a 3D representation of the HoloNet. But you could see files and processes and whole worlds of data, but in alien formats that speak to you more in sensation than logic. You let go of the sticks and the console room comes back. You grab them again and understanding fills your head. It feels not all that different from your bouts of deja vu remembering. Like of memories being inserted into your mind, and you suddenly just know how to use this interface. You just think where you want to go or what you want to know, and away you go. The word array comes to mind. A network of computers hosting millions of data nodes, information on every part of the planet, from weather to soil conditions to individual creatures. And not just computers, but entities that feel intelligent and also digital artificial consciousnesses like your ship's AI congruence. They're processing all that data and triggering subroutines to make minute changes on the planet's surface. Then a booming voice enters your brain and obliterates all else, speaking more in abstract thought than words, but loud. What are you doing in Wormhole Observatory Array Console 5, you nosy little creature? Then an explosion in your head, and you're thrown backwards and out of the array. There must have also been an explosion in your hands, which are now singed. The console is blown out and dead. Ooh, having taken extra stress is going to ruin everything. You're shaken. Something didn't like you poking around in there. Whatever the array is, whatever lives in it has been watching you, probably ever since you landed. You have a feeling Sim has something to do with this. He's either in league with the array or he's part of it. But, knowing Sim, he won't tell you anything until he's ready to. You tell Dis about the array and the voice saying Wormhole Observatory. He looks around, impressed. The convergent domain was sure up to some shit, he says. And now you know about the array and how to access it. That could come in very useful if it turns out to be a danger to your colony. You decide to call it a day. Your arms feel all tingly and weak from getting electrocuted, and your heart is still thumping a mile a minute. But you'll be back. Yeah, let's head home. So heading home makes you not actually take the stress from the final thing. That's really interesting. Okay, engineering 20. That has got us to a threshold where we can have an interaction with Tangent, I think. Tangent, where'd you go? Is that not right? No, we need her thing is reasoning based, not engineering based, right? Okay, I do need a break soon, but we're going back out first. We're going to go to nearby. We're going to find the Unisor event. We're going to watch that Unisor. That's right, you have to click on the flag. Loot everything, hang out with the Unisor. That'll give us enough stress availability to do a couple of other events. Plus, I really need to refill my mushwood log supplies. Oh, Unisor, sweet Unisor. Hey, look who it is. As you approach, Sim holds a finger to his lips and bids you approach quietly. Oh, this is the same text. Okay, so we're not allowed to just have a free conversation with him everywhere. All right, there's a yellow event for this area. We will absolutely touch that. Did I miss the thing? You know what? This is arranged a little bit differently than it used to be. Because the door is in a different alignment. So I was running around here expecting there to be a veer off the road at a certain point. But I think it must still exist, but it's in a different place. Or maybe it just doesn't work like that here anymore. But, like, there's stuff down there that has to be accessible. There's a whole challenge. How would I get to that? It does seem like we just can't, huh? Hold on. Let me grind my face against this edge of the... Okay, here we go. The path is a little narrower than I remembered. And the Unisor event is simply not here. Interesting. Well, that is not what I was expecting. I guess let's just take the yellow and be forced to rest. You've spent so many days and weeks exploring. Some days you feel like you've seen it all, even though you haven't gone very far from the colony. You have your favorite places, and you're heading to one of them right now. You like it because it's thrilling to get there. It's beautiful, might give us a de-stress, but we have enough time to de-stress and still explore the other area and still do a geoponics as well. So I'm going to say it's thrilling to get there. All right, real simple bravery challenge. How about some threes? And then also, this is going to make a bunch of twos. I mean, you do that thing. I guess the smart move would be that version. And then somehow we got to find 5 more points. I don't know how we will manage. The card there's going to get a +1, huh? That's actually kind of inconvenient. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't need to stress about this. This doesn't matter. And then also, you know, a 6 and a 7 or whatever. Just take my victory. 78 bravery. You have to cross a fallen log over a deep ravine to get there. Today, you make it across, controlling your fear and walking steadily without shaking. And there it is. You arrive at an orchard of bobber fruit. The sweet, citrusy smell wafts from the red fruit, as it bounces enticingly up and down on the end of long branches. You check carefully for animals. You've seen a territorial bush bub here before, but looks like the coast is clear. You can pick and eat at your leisure, and we get 30 stress back. So I guess we may as well keep exploring. Is there anything else that we want to do here? So like, I'm just feeling around for a thing I missed. It doesn't feel like doing normal events is going to be all that worthwhile. I am a little curious, I guess, about this one. Off out here by itself. Mush trees. If I choose come back later, okay, I can avoid the spend. So we're at 71. Yeah, we could just bail with this much and use it to gather events. But if I'm putting myself in a position where I'm going to have to rest once anyway. I don't know. I really suspect we are just going to see the events that we're all familiar with here. Let's just go home. Yeah. Go ahead. I got the conversation with Sam that didn't end up being worth anything. And that does get us to 80 bravery, which I believe should earn us a card. Gotta remember not to distribute presents to the twins yet. Hey, buddy. I dare you to stressful event. Yeah. You gulp and bravely dare him to tell you. What's the deal between him and his sister? That does take bravery. What about her? Dis scowls, digging the toe of his boot into the dirt. She's smart and perfect, and everyone loves her. You wait patiently. Sometimes being brave means sitting in silence. Eventually, Dis crosses his arms and shrinks in on himself. When Tange got her G-Dome therapy, all anyone wanted to talk about was how I shouldn't be sad about losing my brother. Like they had to tell me that, Dis says, huffing indignantly. I'm her twin? I knew she was a girl like 5 seconds after she did. She's always been my sister, he explains. And she's always known who she is. But like, that was the problem, Dis says. He picks at a loose thread of his sleeve. She's so mature, you know? And I'm not. So she treats me more like her dumb little pet than her brother, telling me what to do and acting like she's so much smarter than me. He rubs his face. I mean, she is smarter than me. She's smarter than everyone, even the adults. But that doesn't mean she knows what's best for everyone. Dis lapses into silence. You wait a little longer to see if he wants to share any more, but he seems intent on just staring off into the wilderness again. We have no idea when your birthday is. I'm gonna wait until mid to give out any gifts to anybody, I think. Also, I don't know what that song was supposed to be. It really did sound like they were just trying to like fill up the sonic space as much as possible. Just like, what if a wall of sound? Does anybody have any dialogue bubbles for me? No? Well, then I am going back outside. Am I? Do I want to just do geoponics work and then That might even max out my biology. And then rest and then go out? I could do it that way. I'm really not sure what would be best. Yeah, I guess let's do that. So we want to rest here so that we can relax in the park. So let's do xenobotany first. Back in the lab, you have all the right equipment to properly examine that radioactive plant you found. Maybe you can find a way to protect yourself from them so you don't need to drag a radiation-proof envirosuit with you every time you go to that part of the planet. Radiation poisoning isn't the killer it used to be on Earth. How confident are you that you know how to protect yourself? Well, I'm really far from 40 engineering, so I think I'll be okay, and if this makes us sick, we're about to rest anyway. You take a careless approach to protecting yourself from the radiation. It can't be so bad that you won't be able to get to a medbed in time, right? You wear gloves and a face shield and get to work. After about a few hours, you start feeling dizzy. The dizziness quickly becomes nausea, and while you're puking your guts out in a bucket, you have to admit you're probably feeling the effects of radiation poisoning. Radiation poisoning! Who could have predicted that? But you're not done with your experiment, so you keep going, 'cause it's fine. Oh no, all the stress. Oh, indestructible youth. What's a little hair loss and diarrhea? It's just a plant. You're better than a plant. This might be one of the dumbest things you've ever done. You'll be in medbay wishing it killed you for at least a week, but you did complete your experiment. You discover that the radioactive part of the plant is confined to the carpel of the flower, its reproductive organs, and that the petals act as a radioactive shield to protect the rest of it. If you press the center of the flower, the petals close and block the radiation enough that a person can pass by without feeling sick. Neat. You should be able to use this to protect yourself next time you encounter this plant in the wild. Also, you've had a project going in the greenhouse lab for a few years now, splicing the genomes of plants from both Earth and Vertumna, trying to come up with a way to make Earth plants more likely to take root and flourish in the nitrogen-weak Vertumnan soil. Gene tech has always been a part of your life. Everyone you know has some sort of genetic enhancement, and some have had large-scale gene editing later in life, like Tangent's transition. You know it's possible, but your knowledge of Vertumnan genomes isn't as complete as the human genome. The trick is finding exactly the right Vertumnan genes to splice into exactly the right Earth plant. So, can you do it? Will today be the day you make that breakthrough? I'm ready to try a hard challenge. We got back up to 5 logs. Okay, so... I mean, we're already stress capping. We already have to rest. We may as well. +5 to all blue flushes, so we want to make sure there's a blue flush in each hand if we can get it. I feel pretty good about this, actually. 40 is a good start. All right, so this is going to be a 4. How do we want to place this? It probably goes on the edge here. I don't think we can really make... we could do this. That means we just have to find 30 on the final thing, and we start with 5 already. We can do that. That's extremely doable. Okay. We want to put this in the last pane. We could just go 4, 5, 6 and get our thing here. It's not going to be the highest value, so we're not going to cap out our we're not going to get the extra kudos, but out of curiosity, if we okay, I'm not pushing over into what do you call it? Mode yet. I'm not pushing over into bonus, but I really want to make sure we play Mom's Love because we want +1 skill And then we're still getting +1 skill on challenge win from the Vriki. So this ought to make the biology challenge give us 4 biology, right? Two biology +2. So the +2 was, it would have given me 0 otherwise? Why would it have given me 0 otherwise? Oh, because that wasn't the work. That was the plot-related challenge. You double-check congruence's simulations 100 times, and the results are always the same. A truly viable genome composed of genes from both Earth and Vertumna, and in every chemical simulation congruence can run, it successfully takes root and flourishes. 2 extra cards when drawn this card is phenomenally good. Holy heck. You look at the tiny, barely sprouted plants. This could be the beginning of a new era of agriculture on this planet. Too bad you didn't have this years ago when you really needed it. But better late than never. May no future generations ever have to suffer like you did. You can't wait to take this knowledge and use it on other Earth plants. Strawberries, bananas, kiwis, all the delicate plants that need such careful tending in hydroponics, growing strong in Vertumnan soil, feeding the colony for generations to come. Oh, nice. Your mom has always been a result-oriented person. She doesn't like to experiment just to see what might happen. She likes science that she already knows and trusts will work. When you call her in to see what you've done, she smiles as proudly as you've ever seen her smile before. Even she can't argue with congruence's results. You'll earn twice the kudos working in the lab from now on, in recognition of your contribution to the colony's continued survival. And this job was already pretty good for that, but also, we're done. This will probably be the last time we do xenobotany, so it is a little silly that this is how that's timed. Okay, yep, so 3 biology, a couple more organizing. Enhance your DNA in engineering. In what way? Enhance it to do what? All right, mid-wet is... Oh, like an extra choice from the beginning of the game menu, I guess. Before I forget, let's go give a gift to Tange, because it is her birthday, and we have a yellow flower for her. Hey, I brought you this delightful... Oh, I bet she's interested in strange devices. Well, let's do this right now, because we know this will land. I hope you find it useful. I'm not going to do the bad flirt. We got good flirts on lockdown. We're figuring this out. Or maybe that bad flirt would even work if our number was just high enough. So yeah, we gotta rest. Gonna rest in the park so that our pets can run around and enjoy that. We don't need to give anything to Dis, right? There's no. This isn't even the right menu. There's nothing above 100. Yeah. Okay. So. We're still doing all right with Nem. Oh, I was gonna test. Here, let's give out some more gifts though. When was your birthday again? I thought we had accidentally figured hers out once. Mars grabs your arm and hauls you somewhere a little more quiet. OMG, she says. So I was making out with one of the Helio kids. Don't make that face, Sowen. It's no big deal. And she said they're not allowed to use their nanoprinters for anything except uniforms. She holds her hand to her chest. Excuse me? No wonder they're so boring. Clothes are the window dressing to the soul, Sowen. I guess so. I see where you're coming from in any case. Here, have a flower. It is not your birthday. Nope, not that. Nope, I know. I'm trying to talk to Rex here. Rex spots you and waves. Well, waves his whole body at you, thrumming with excitement. Sowen, he exclaims. Oh, it's another beautiful day on this beautiful planet. Wow, what a time to be alive. He looks around at the ruins of the colony and lets out a little laugh. So what if it's a bit of a fixer-upper? That's all right. I'm good with my hands. This dude, he's not my flavor, but this dude is extremely someone's flavor. Someone's very excited. Here's a hug. Man, it's really easy to make friends with him, I'll say that. You find Rex playing cards by himself in the lounge with an actual physical deck of cards. He looks up as you approach and visibly brightens when he sees you, sitting up straight with his dog-like ears on alert. Hey, Samhain, he exclaims. How's it hanging? You want to play a game with me? Sure, what kind of game? It's called Bottoms Up, Rex explains. We both play a card from our hand we think is lower than the one the other person's playing, and the person with the lowest card wins. If you win, you get the number of points that are on your card. Plus, you get to take the loser's card and add it to your hand. So, you want to play a low card to win, but if you play your high cards at the right time, you get a lot of points. It's a game of compromise. Yeah, that sounds all right. Jeez. I used to play it all the time back on the Helio, but now everyone's here and, realizing their big dreams of being heroes and saving humanity, Rex says, rolling his eyes with a good-natured grin. The soldiers love to gamble, Rex says. That thing you use here, kudos? We could bet some kudos on it, or maybe we could bet something more interesting? What do you mean more interesting? Well, Rex says, his smile turning a little wolfish. Have you ever kissed anyone before? Like I said, somebody's fantasy has come alive here. I don't really value my kudos. I would be happy betting them, but also I wouldn't really be happy if I won more. So I guess this is something. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Really? Rex asks. Wow, but you're so pretty and cool. He puts his hand on yours and leans in, looking at you with a sincere expression. I'd love to be your first kiss, Samhain. Mars would have my head, I think. Wait, don't we kiss no matter who wins? Rex throws back his head and laughs, then fixes you with a flirtatious look. Samhain, he teases you, don't give away my best trick. My dude, I'm gonna have to say no thanks. I'm sorry, please don't take this personally. You are just not okay, cool. He's cool about it. That's good. I mean, fucking let's go, right? How about 250 kudos? Let's do it. Hey, big spender, Rex laughs. Yeah, of course. Whatever you feel comfortable with is fine by me, he winks. He gets his own little splash image. Rex shuffles the cards and deals half the deck to each of you, and you begin to play the game. And the best thing about this game is that it's not very hard to play, Rex says, scooping up his winning cards. It's all about how well you know the other person. And, well, we don't know each other very well yet, so what do you want to know about me? What do you like to do for fun? Is it making out? I think it's making out. It's just a feeling I have. Talk to people mostly, Rex says, and puts down a low card to win the hand. I like to see what everyone's doing and help them with stuff if I can. I just really like being around other people. I like doing whatever they're doing. He really is a dog boy. Oh, and cuddling, of course. I love cuddling and running and chasing stuff. He rubs the soft inner part of his ear and smiles sheepishly. Have you made any friends here? Oh, yeah, of course, Rex says. He looks happy. All the adults are so much nicer than the ones I grew up with. Like, they care so much about how and why they do stuff. I love being around them. And the other teens, like, whoa, you guys are all so cool. Anemone and Tans are so passionate. Cal's a solid sweetheart. And Mars is like a galactic level hottie. Wow. He trails off, lost in thought. Oh, and that disc guy seems interesting too. What are your plans for the future, my dude? Rex blinks at you. Oh, wow, big question. I don't know. I think if I stayed on the heliopause, I probably would have ended up becoming a soldier like everyone else. But planet side... Rex smiles to himself as he puts down a high card. Well, I could do anything. I've always liked making things with my hands, and I like to make other people happy. Maybe I could do something with that. Once again. All right, enough talking. Let's play. You play out the rest of the cards, staying fairly even in points until Rex is left with only one card and you have two. You're trailing, but not by much. If you play your low card for an easy win, you'll gain enough points to make it a draw. If you gamble on the slightly higher card in your hand, you might lose entirely, but you could win. I do not have the empathy necessary to read Rex foretells. My empathy hasn't really advanced since I was a very small child, which is not great, actually. I've been very busy with a lot of other stuff. No, I mean, let's go for it. Let's take the gamble. If he wins 250 kudos, he's probably going to be really excited. And if I lose 250 kudos, I won't care at all. So let's try. You put down the higher of your 2 cards, and Rex shouts, "Are you for real?" He laughs. "That was a really risky play. You're lucky I only had a high card left." He turns over his card, and it's even higher than yours. You win the game by a comfortable margin. I have so much money. Rex links your hollow palms and transfers your winnings. "That's a good thing I love helping so much," he laughs. "You can rack up kudos pretty fast. I was going to say, how did he have 250 already?" That's bananas. All right, I'm going to go buy 4 cakes, I guess. I think they restock them. They restock them periodically, right? There's no reason not to buy 4 cakes. I don't know who I'm going to give them to because the twins don't like them, but we'll give them to people. People enjoy cake. Here's the thing: I'm not an expert on humans, but here's one thing I definitely know about humans: they are pro cake. Where's Nem? Hey, Nem. Nem fiddles with her personal defense plas cutter. When's your birthday? Your birthday's early dust. Yeah, this is not your birthday month. Here, I got you a cake. She likes food. Thanks, Nem says. Any excuse to eat a whole cake, right? That's exactly what I was thinking. Am I feeling magnanimous in victory? Do we want to maybe try to make friends with the dude? Unless you're here because you've realized Rex is a shit-for-brains coward who'd rather dick around than defend his own home, get out of my sight, Face growls. I don't have time for weak-willed deadweights like him, and right now, that includes you. Okay, no cake for you, sir. You just talked yourself out of some free cake. Do we want to give Rex a cake? The thing is, he likes logs, but also, I like the logs. The logs are very useful. I'm going to give him a cake. Hey, what a surprise. "Aw, thanks, Samhain, but I'm trying to watch my figure," he jokes, pointing to his belly after he hands the cake back. "Try me again on my birthday. I won't be able to resist." Did we... early pollen. Okay, yes, we had stumbled into his birthday because it was in an early month. Coming in for another hug? Okay, so he's always up for hugs, but they don't actually always increase. You get 1 stat increasing hug per month, I guess. All right, we gave you something already. Did I give Cal a gift this month? I don't think I did. And I am like rich with stuff. We still don't know when your birthday is. You want a cake? All right, Cal likes cakes. That de-stressed me. 2 friendship with Cal and also 2 friendship with Cal. Samhain, this is my favorite thing on the whole planet. He makes grabby hands at the cake and takes a big huff of the pleasant sugary smell as his eyes slip closed in sheer pleasure. Wow, Samhain, he breathes. You are really the best of the best. Here, you have a piece too. Let the icing melt in your mouth and let all your worries melt away with it. Man really likes cake. Like, holy cow, he likes cake. We're still going to rest because I need to shed my injury. Also, level up my pets probably. I think that feels like a thing we should do next episode, though, because somehow this got away from me and it's 80 minutes long now. Just like, I know I keep saying it. I find the whole formula here very compelling. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we're going to see what the end of a year looks like with all of the guns that the Heliopaws brought with them. Maybe we can keep the monsters on the outside of the walls for the first time ever. Maybe. Or maybe it's going to turn out all these guns are good for nothing except making our lives kind of worse. I'm excited to see which one it's going to be. And we'll see you then.